In response to Nimai Nitai Prabhu's emotional speech, I've got to introduce me to you a little, who I am. I am Solovyov Igor. I joined ISKCON in 1993. I lived in Moscow then. Moscow is the capital of Russia. I was a congregant of Moscow Temple. In 98, after Harikesha Maharajas fell down, I joined IRM, ISKCON Revival Movement, and Krishnakant Prabhu. I translated his book, The Final Order, into Russian. We released this book in Russia in 2001, and in 2001 Krishnakant and Madhu Pandit, president of Bangalore's temple, came to me in Moscow. We had a first IRM meeting there. I was one of the leaders of Ritvik movement in Russia then. We preached widely and distributed the idea of the final order in Russia. I had been doing so until 2006, when I understood the idea of the final order is wrong and not in line with Prabhupadas' teaching. In 2006 I broke my relation with Krishnakant and reject Ritvik idea as bogus. I came back to the point one has to accept a manifested guru who is an external manifestation of Paramatma. So since 2006 I was no more supporter of Ritvik idea. Here in Russia I released 6 series of video disclosing this bogus idea. And the same thing I wanna do in English. A few words about my taking part in translation lectures for ISKM people. I was asked by the Russian ISKM members to translate lectures and meetings for them. I was not gonna take their position or share their views. I was doing that as my mother, who were one of their members, asked me to do so. But after ISKM members started to offend devotees, I convinced my mother to leave their camp and break her connections with those offenders. So did I. I knew the idea ISKM were trying to represent is completely bogus and poisonous. But I knew that they won't take my arguments. But still we had some debates in the internet with ISKM. In those debates they could not protect their views. Instead they started making nonsense, like trying to offend me. Now about Nimai Nitai recitations of my video. There were a lot of citations, but the fact remains, he did not give a complete answer to the task posed in the question. As for the tanker and the gun represents the weapon, Shastras are the weapons that we destroy the ignorance. The bullet flying at you is the truth contained in the Shastra. Not everything should be taken literally. Some points may be expressed through the allegories. I am not watching karmic videos either. The video I driven is from the film Red Heat, which I watched many years ago in my youth. This is a joyful film about Russian mafia. I just remembered some funny scenes from that film, which could apply to my video about fake letter of initiation, because all cheaters behave in reasonable way. Prabhu, you did not disprove the fact that letter is a fake. Nalini did not recognize that letter. It does not matter it was 40 years ago or not. The fact remains, he did not recognize that letter was written by him. The fonts are different on first and the second pages. If you say they might be printed on different typewriters or by different people, then go further. Maybe these pages were compiled from different letters then. You just think what nonsense you are speaking. Why no date is there in the letter? Why, if according to this letter the name of his brother was Gauraraja Das, why it ended up in the Prabhupadas book as Gaurananda Das? Whom you want to deceive to, Prabhupada or devotees? Why did not I contact Sundar Gopal Prabhu in the first place? Because we have already discussed everything with him and his representatives. After I asked who authorized Sundar Gopal to initiate on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, they started insulting me. They did not want to talk further, and they said they would wait for my videos. About the fact that you have a big movement there. Yeah, it is possible. You can put on a big show, but is your big show in line with Prabhupada's teachings? If you are distorting Prabhupada's teaching, what is the point of your grand show? You accuse me of not associating with devotees. I do associate. There are devotees in the place where I live. We communicate regularly. I also regularly listen to the lectures of the devotees. Why did not I show my face in this video? The fact is that a series of my videos came out in Russia. At the very beginning of my videos, in first series, I turned to the devotees. Further, in the video, in my image was no longer necessary. About why the robot is talking in the video. I was a translator from English to Russian, but my English is not fluent enough. And therefore, and before to say something in English and express my ideas, I have to prepare a text first. Even now I am reading the text compiled before, cause my English is not perfect and fluent. That is why it was easier for me to voice the robot. I also plan to release the same videos in English. Is there a need for my personal image? I am not hiding from anyone. I can be in the video, no problem. Further, your video is based on emotions, and yet you did not answer all the questions posed in the video. Too many different inconsistencies in this letter. No date, different fonts on first and second page. The entry of Gauraraja is not in the book, but there is Gaurananda. All this suggests that there is deception involved. A deception is a deception. There is no point in trying to justify it. You say that initiation is not an entry in the book, but the result of connecting to the parampara. Then you don't have such a connection either. You don't say tattva like Prabhupada said, but you distort his teaching. Although you gathered a lot of people and pass it off as Prabhupada's movement. Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1.58 that the Guru must be manifested before the external senses, the one that is the external manifestation of Paramatma, which must be manifested before our external senses. We have 10 external senses and 1 internal sense. The Guru must be manifested before the outer senses, such as hearing, vision and speech, especially. You don't have a manifested Guru, and you are not a disciple of Prabhupada either. Prabhupada is now unmanifested to our outer senses, just like there is no knowledge. It shows that you are not connected to the parampara. You call yourself Prabhupada's disciple, even though you are not. Your whole grand show means nothing. There are 2 kinds of Bhagavatas, book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata, who is living Bhagavata. You don't have a living devotee, but there are only the books which you speculate on. Sundar Gopal was not authorized by anyone to give initiations on behalf of Prabhupada. The fact you have a lot of movement there does not mean anything. There are many different religious organizations in the world, and it is not all necessary that they are all in parampara. There are many different sects of Mayavada philosophy or deviant Vaishnava teachings, all outside the parampara. There was a big religious sect as Aum Sinrikyo. It had very many followers, but Google what they did. A huge number of followers does not mean anything. You who claim to be Prabhupada's followers are not really Prabhupada's followers, as you don't understand Prabhupada's philosophy and are preparing distorted knowledge and not Prabhupada's teaching. I have no envy for you, but only regret that you are wasting your life by taking refuge in false teachings. And under guidance of those who concocted the initiation ladder, therefore you are passengers of the Titanic, all of you. The aim of my videos to prevent innocent people of getting involved in this hoax. Hare Krishna.